You know, one of the greatest Beatles collectibles is the so-called Butcher cover, and we've got one today in our auction lineup.
Tell me more, please.
Well, we've got a current bid of $534 for a piece of music history that honestly caused a complete meltdown in 1966.
Oh, absolutely. The Yesterday and Today album.
Yeah. So Capitol Records hires a photographer, Bob Whitaker, to shoot the cover. But instead of, four smiling boys with mop tops, he gives them this surrealist nightmare.
It is wild. They're just standing there in white lab coats, covered in raw red meat and dismembered plastic baby dolls.
Which is such a crazy collision of art and corporate panic. Capitol manufactured roughly 750,000 copies of this bizarre cover.
Oh, that many.
Yeah. They shipped them to retailers across the country, sent them to radio stations, and then, well, the reality of what they just greenlit finally set in.
The backlash was immediate.
Totally instantaneous. It led to one of the most frantic product recalls ever.
Yeah.
And I always try to picture the logistics of that, like we see modern PR disasters where a brand just deletes an offensive tweet.
Right, and they issue an apology 10 minutes later.
Exactly. But trying to recall 750,000 physical records that have already left the warehouse, that is like trying to put toothpaste back into the tube using a fleet of delivery trucks. You physically cannot scrub it completely.
Which, ironically, is exactly what created the modern collector's market.
Mm-hmm.
You have different tiers of survival here. The rarest are the first stake covers, where the original Butcher artwork was just left alone.
But the item we're looking at today is a second stake cover, right?
Correct. To save time and money, Capitol rushed out a safe, boring photo of the band standing around a steamer trunk. And they literally pasted this new image directly over the raw meat artwork.
They just glued it right on top.
Yeah. And the specimen up for grabs today is remarkable. It's a Los Angeles pressing, still in its original shrink wrap. The cover is graded near mint.
Surviving 60 years in that condition is crazy.
It's a statistical anomaly. Plus, it comes with a copy of Capitol's original recall letter.
Wait, let me stop you there, though. If the trunk photo is glued over the meat photo, how do you even know it's under there without destroying the record? Let's get into the real versus fake analysis.
Ah, that is the million-dollar question. Genuine second state paste-over covers usually show a very slight bleed-through of the dark imagery from underneath.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so if you look closely at the white background of the pasted trunk slick, you want to look for the faint, dark outline of Ringo's black V-neck shirt from the original photo.
That makes sense.
But listen, modern fake paste-overs absolutely exist. They're designed specifically to trick eager collectors. So buyers are always responsible for doing their own due diligence before placing a bid. And by the way, if you're listening to us on podcasts and you want to see photos of these auction items and the eBay affiliate links, visit us at BeatlesFinds.com.
So if the Butcher cover was the band rebelling against their clean-cut image, they took that rebellion to its absolute limit just a few months later.
They certainly did.
By August 1966, they didn't just want to control their image, they wanted to reclaim their physical presence, so they completely abandoned live performances. Which naturally brings us to our second item.
A full unused concert ticket from Candlestick Park.
Exactly. Currently sitting at $455. August 29th, 1966, San Francisco.
The absolute final live concert for a paying audience. And what gives this piece of paper such immense gravity is just the total lack of fanfare.
There was no emotional farewell tour.
Nothing. They didn't announce this as their grand finale. They played their set, walked off stage, and simply never toured again.
The sensory overload had just broken them. The screaming was so loud they couldn't even hear their own instruments. But wait, I have to challenge the logic of this specific item.
Oh, how so?
You said it's a full unused ticket, sharp corners. It's a large ticket too, 5 3/4 by 2.5 inches, with the band's photos printed right on it.
Yeah, just slight fading and 2 light tape stains on the back.
But if it's completely intact with the stub attached, that means the buyer never went to the show.
I know. That is the beautiful, tragic irony of this artifact. Someone bought this ticket, presumably taped it to their bedroom wall, hence the stains, and for whatever reason, they stayed home.
They missed the most consequential night in live music history. It hurts my soul to even think about missing that gig.
Mine too. But their loss is a massive win for whoever wins this auction. Though, paper memorabilia is incredibly tricky. So it is time for a real versus fake check.
What are the giveaways?
Genuine Candlestick tickets have distinct physical perforation marks where the stub is meant to be torn by the usher. You also need to look for authentic age wear.
Like the pape stains.
Exactly. The tape stains on this item are actual physical residue. Modern counterfeits will often just take a high-resolution scan of a vintage ticket and artificially print the fading and stains directly into glossy paper. As always, buyers must always do their own due diligence to verify those physical traits.
Getting off that chaotic road tour was a lifesaver, honestly, because it gave them the ultimate luxury: time.
Yes, time to experiment.
They retreated into the studio, evolving from a touring pop act into artists crafting massive conceptual projects. Which brings us to item number 3.
An original UK low-number mono-white album.
Current bid is $410, and I mean, think about the stark contrast here. A year prior, they released Sgt. Pepper, which was just this absolute explosion of color and chaotic imagery.
And for the white album, they went the completely opposite direction, just a blank white canvas.
But the genius stroke was that the original UK pressings were individually numbered on the front cover.
Released in November 1968, Apple PMC 706, 7 and 8.
I am obsessed with the marketing psychology behind that numbering system. They took a mass-produced, commercial pop, double LP, and just by stamping a sequential number on it,
It instantly transformed it to a serialized, limited edition art piece.
exactly. And everyone wanted to know their place in line. Ringo got copy number 000000001.
Any number falling within the first 1,000 is considered a holy grail. It proves it was among the very first off the pressing line.
Yeah.
And this auction copy happens to be number 0000865.
Holding a 3-digit copy is wild. Now, I want to be clear with you, the vinyl itself has seen better days. It grades from G++ down to VG-, and there is significant wear on the cover.
But the physical markers of an early pressing are all there. The near-mint labels lack the EMI print found on later copies. It comes with the original large poster and the 4 glossy portraits.
Most importantly, it has the UK-exclusive top opening feature. You slide the records out of the top of the jacket, not the side.
Oh, and we cannot ignore the dead wax.
Okay.
It features the crucial -1 trail-off suffixes.
Explain the mechanics of that for a second. Why does a tiny -1 scratched into the vinyl matter?
Well, it is all about audio fidelity. When a record is made, a master tape cuts the audio into a physical lacquer, which makes a metal stamper. That dash...
I love that you can literally feel the history with that indentation. Now, those White Album sessions were not exactly a peaceful retreat. The band was famously fracturing.
Arguing constantly.
Yeah, sometimes recording in completely different studios and frequently stepping out of their designated roles just to get tracks finished. And that tension perfectly sets up our 4th auction item.
A signed photo of Paul McCartney playing the drums.
The current bid is sitting at $475.
It's a 6x8 image, and it immediately catches your eye because it feels wrong. His global identity is intrinsically tied to playing the bass.
Usually a Hofner, right?
Yeah, often a Hofner. Or a standard guitar. Seeing him behind a drum kit is a visual representation of band friction. His drumming was heavily utilized during moments of crisis, most notably when Ringo reached his breaking point and temporarily quit during those sessions.
Okay, I have a theory I want to run by you.
Let's hear it.
Does seeing him playing a non-primary instrument, abandoning the Hofner for the drums, actually make this autograph more desirable to a hardcore collector purely because of its uniqueness?
Oh, entirely. The collector's market thrives on anomalies. Every casual fan has a poster of him playing his primary instrument.
It's true.
But a signed photograph of him on the drums captures a very specific, volatile, and highly creative window of time. However, what drives the price of this specific lot isn't just the imagery. It's the paperwork. It includes a certification from Beckett Authentication Services, or BAS.
Which is an absolute necessity in a market filled with forgeries. Let's pivot to the real versus fake analysis for autographs.
The forgery market here is an industry unto itself. Signatures are fabricated daily. Third-party authentication from a recognized firm like BAS is widely considered the gold standard.
But you can't just trust the sticker, can you?
No, a physical sticker should never be the end of your investigation. Counterfeiters have been known to fake the authentication certificates themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, you need to take the certification numbers provided and manually check them against the company's online database to ensure they match perfectly. Buyers are strictly responsible for doing their own due diligence.
You have to verify the verifier. All right, let's take a massive leap backward. We've talked about the end of their touring days, the tension-filled studio years. Let's bring it all the way back to their raw, unified beginnings.
I love this era.
Our fifth and final auction item is a lot of 3 early 60s singles. The current bid is remarkably low at £36, which is roughly 48 US dollars.
This lot is a brilliant snapshot of their rapid musical evolution before global fame changed them. First, you have a rare UK pressing of Ain't She Sweet on the Polydor label.
Catalog NH 52317.
Right, featuring the early orange scroll design.
Yeah.
This takes you right back to their gritty Hamburg era in 1961, with John Lennon taking the lead vocals.
It is a totally different sound. And bundled with it, you get Love Me Do on Parlophone 45 R4949 from 1962, the spark that ignited their British dominance.
And Please Please Me on Parlophone 45 R4983 from 1963. The seller confirms all 3 singles play beautifully without skipping.
But we have to address the elephant in the room, which explains that $48 price tag.
Ah, yes, the collector's nuisance.
Exactly. All 3 singles suffer from it. A previous owner has taken a pen and prominently written their initials JME directly onto the paper labels.
It happens so often.
I honestly love that so much. It is the ultimate irony, the exact thing that destroys the pristine investment-grade value for elite collectors. You know, some teenager scribbling their name so their friends wouldn't steal their records at a dance party.
Is the very thing that makes this trifecta of history affordable for an everyday fan.
Yes.
It strips away their museum-quality prestige and reminds you of the item's original purpose. It was just pop music meant to be played and shared.
Even so, the real versus fake rules apply at $48, right?
Absolutely. For early singles, verifying the physical matrix numbers stamped into the runout groove is vital. You also have to scrutinize the label typography.
Like making sure the Polydor Ain't She Sweet has the correct orange scroll layout?
Correct. Oddly enough, that period-accurate handwriting in pen can sometimes serve as a marker of a genuine vintage item, since counterfeiters generally aim to produce pristine fakes for maximum profit.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Still, modern reproductions of these early hits are everywhere, so buyers must complete their own due diligence.
It's incredible to step back and look at these 5 items together. You go from a recalled butcher cover meant to shatter a clean-cut image to an unused ticket symbolizing a band retreating from the deafening noise of their own fame.
Yeah, and then you have a numbered white sleeve that elevated pop music to high art.
Plus a tense snapshot of a bassist forced onto the drums. And finally, 3 plastic singles marked up by a teenager who just loved the music.
It highlights a profound truth about collecting. We tend to think of these items as financial investments, or untouchable relics.
Sure.
But these physical imperfections, the glue from a paste over, the tape stains on a ticket, the pen marks on a label, they are the actual fingerprints of history.
Which leaves you with a pretty wild thought to mull over. We don't actually own any of this history. Even the person who drops $500 on that butcher cover today is just renting it. We are all just temporary curators, holding on to these artifacts until they pass to the next pair of hands, carrying all those beautiful, messy human flaws right along with them.
Hey, do you like free stuff?
Yeah, of course, especially when it's Beatles stuff.
Well, you're in luck, because our new book, Beatles Rewind, is free today on Amazon and YouTube.
Huh. That massive book we just wrote called Beatles Rewind, Essential Stories of John, Paul, George, and Ringo, and the music that never gets old.
That's the one. We're giving it away today.
Are you crazy? I worked my ass off on that book, and now you're giving it away.
Guilty as charged. So there's 2 ways to get it free. You can download the ebook free from Amazon, or listen to the entire audiobook, all 12 hours, free on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot. Okay, we'll put the links in this video description for the free ebook and audiobook. And or you, listening, if you have a browser handy. For the book, just go to BeatlesRewindBook.com. That will get you to the Amazon book page.
Right. And for the audiobook, you can go to BeatlesAudio.com, and that will get you the YouTube audiobook.
Anything else you want to give away today?
That's it for today.
Oh, okay. Beatles forever.